I've been a big fan of your game for a couple of years now, and we'll get right into it. I won't take up too much of your time. Jacob Antchak, 6'8", CTA West, one of the top dogs in Canada right now. A top 10 prospect in my books, no doubts.
The thing that even got me here was just the work ethic, man. You know, even from my first North Pole Hoops camp I went to, because Elias came out and whatever, the first thing he noticed was just that I wanted it, and you know, so that's one thing, is people don't see that as much, because obviously work ethic happens when people aren't watching, right? So, but that's something that, you know, anyone that works with me can testify to. I do work my ass off when it comes to this stuff because it's my dream. So, and then as a result of that, I don't feel like I have any glaring weakness. I think I can switch between all kinds of positions. Like, I might not necessarily guard a 1 and 2 guard all game, but if I get switched onto them, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's fine.
Yeah.
You can leave me there.
You're not liability. You're not liability.
Yeah,
exactly.
And even on offense, if you ask me to do a certain job, I can get that job done. So, you know, and then also I have good grades for a prospect, I think, of my size and stature.
Yeah, 3.85 GPA is unbelievable. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's
and
impressive,
I'll talk
man.
someone's damn ear off, man. I'm kind of marketable that way. So I think those are kind of the main things that make me stand.
I was going to say, so you got a 3.85 GPA, which is incredibly impressive, even if you're just straight doing school. But you're doing basketball on top of this, and not only are you doing basketball, you're a very, very high-level prospect. What's the most difficult part about being a high-level prospect, juggling your schoolwork, your basketball, your training, possibly hanging out with a girlfriend by chance, hanging out with your buddies, but I mean, whatever it is, social life, whatever, you have to have a balance, right? So how difficult has it been for you traveling multiple different school each year? How difficult has this journey been, or has it been not difficult for you really at all?
I think it doesn't get easier. You just like it sounds so corny and by the book, but like, you genuinely do get so much stronger and better at what you're doing that it starts to not feel as hard just because you're doing it all the time. You know what I mean? First time you pack your bags, you're like, oh man, I'm leaving home. Like, it's tough, right? Like, you're like, oh, I'm leaving my parents, I'm leaving all my friends, I have to go make new buddies, and then, you know, but it wasn't so bad. LBA, I was with the second family. I think it was the best transition I could have had. That's the hardest part, actually. That leads me into that point. The hardest part about being a student athlete to this day is you miss out on some holidays, you miss out on time with family, friends, all that stuff, right? Like, a lot of my time now you spend responding to coaches or responding to, like, it's more like the business side of basketball, and then it's all of a sudden it's like you get a text from your dad or a text from your mom, or you try and call them and it's like, okay, well now I have to go do this. Or by the time you're done practice, you're like, well, man, I gotta rest up, or I gotta head to bed early, or I gotta eat, and then it's like you're eating, you're trying to talk to them, like while you're trying to freaking talk to them, and it's not proper, right? So it's tough. And the other time, then it's like, okay, well, now I gotta do this, something happened to my car, and so then all of a sudden it's like, it seems like the only time you call them is when you need them, and then that's the wrong thing, because obviously you love your family, right? So that's the toughest part.
No, that hits close.